Okay, I'm loving the energy because I know we're at the end of the day, so I'm excited for us to hear from Kaylah.
Welcome, Kaylah Joseph, founder of Laid Hair Care.
Hey, hey!
Woo-hoo!
Oh no, y'all can't be giving me this type of energy because I just got off a plane that was delayed. I have been through delays. I've been through tornadoes. I've changed my shoes. I've changed my wardrobe. Get into it.
Okay.
If I still have the energy, I need it from y'all too.
That is much better. That is much better.
Yeah. We're gonna turn it up with them.
Okay, I am so excited for this conversation.
I'm excited.
You know, throughout this, I'm gonna be dropping stats because you are a data-driven girly, okay?
The numbers don't lie.
At all. And I want to first just kind of give context to why this conversation is so important and why the work that you've done as a CEO and founder is so important. So one of the stats that you shared on LinkedIn, and I'm gonna quote you, you said the black beauty industry is valued at $6.6 billion.
Yeah.
And less than 3% of that is owned or generated by black women-owned companies.
Actually, it's less than that now. Since Mael has sold, we're about 2.3% of the category.
That statistic literally shakes me to my core.
It should actually disturb you.
It does.
Yeah.
It really does. It really does. So I wanted to just share that stat so that we can all just understand, one, just the uphill battle that you've been against as a founder, but also just to normalize for all of us that there's so much more work that needs to be done in this category.
Yeah, there's an opportunity for everybody. And I tell people all the time, they're like, Kaylah, are we competing? I'm creating a hair care product. I'm like, girl, it's $6.6 billion. I don't have $1 billion of it, so come on, you can get it too.
Period. Period. All right, let's dive into my first question.
Sure.
So, Kaylah, at 28, you became the youngest CEO in history.
Yeah. Actually, I did it at 26.
Oh, okay, see? Okay, at 26, you became the youngest CEO in history to have shelf space in Walmart and CVS Health. Now I watched Shark Tank.
Okay.
So I know how challenging and how expensive it is to get shelf space in retail. So can we first just clap for Kaylah and how monumentous of a...
Man, God is good. He's faithful.
So just kind of walk us through.
Yeah.
How did you decide to start Laid Hair Care?
Yeah.
What were the origins of founding that company and growing your company? Talk to us about that.
All right, so I'm gonna give you guys the cliff notes so that like you guys can go and actually like do the research on your own, because like there's so many videos where I answer this question. But the cliff notes version of it is that my hair fell out. So my hair fell out in clumps. Like I was going into the shower and I was seeing clumps of my hair like in the shower, and I was distraught. And so I, being me, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I've been natural since I was 16 years old. Why is my hair all of a sudden falling out? I go to the dermatologist. I go to a trichologist. I'm getting my blood tested because I just knew I was dying, okay? I just knew something traumatic was happening. It was none of that. It was that my scalp was having an allergic reaction to the products that I was putting on my scalp, even though that these were the products that I had been using for years. So I decided that I was going to do a quick little Google search and like buy all the products that were said to regrow my hair. And my hair did not grow back. I was not seeing results. The TikToks, the Instagrams, all of that, I was like, I've been seeing this on the Shade Room. I bought it. It didn't work. I saw the ads for it. It didn't work. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just start mixing stuff up because I cannot be bald-headed. Like, it's not my ministry. It's not my portion. And so when I started mixing stuff up, my hair started growing. I started buying like actual direct from the vendors, like literally buying jojoba oil wholesale, biotin, buying sunflower oil, mixing it up, doing it up. And my hair started growing back. And I'm sitting here like, how is my hair growing back when I'm using the products that are on the shelf that say they have these exact same ingredients and they're not working? Fast forward into now being in manufacturing, I realized how much of what we have on the shelf is a lie. How much of the branding isn't actually what's in the product, and how little of actual essential oils, multivitamins, and just good stuff you have in your ingredient story. So the reason why a lot of us were even experiencing hair loss, and especially like during the pandemic, was because the products were expired, they were old, and they were cheapening all of the ingredients that were already cheap. So I said, you know what? Let me just mix this stuff up. I put it in my hair. My hair starts growing back. My friends start using the product, and they're just like, Kayla, you know, if your hair can grow back, let me go and use this. So I'm like, okay, girl, when I'm making my stuff, I'll make it for you. Well, they started telling their friends. They started telling their friends. I get a phone call one day from a beauty supply store in my city, and they're like, hey, Kayla, we hear you have this oil that's really good for hair growth. And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, I have one, but it's not something that I'm putting on shelves. It's just like something I'm literally making in the house. They're like, well, people keep asking us for it. So long story short, I got with a chemist to make sure my formula was shelf stable, that I wouldn't get sued for it, that it wouldn't get it wouldn't irritate your scalp. I did all the testing, spent a couple $1,000s on making sure my product was what my product was, got some insurance, put a Canva label on it, and then sold it to the beauty supply stores. We went viral during the pandemic. Walmart found out about us, and then they said, Kayla, well, your product, it seems to work. You have the sales, but your product doesn't look shelf ready. And so once that happened, I said, okay, let me take some time, get my branding together, got my branding together, and now we're on shelves in Walmart and CVS.
I love it. That story is so inspiring.
Yeah.
Okay, and shout out using Canva.
Okay, because Canva, don't let these people sleep on you. I know there be some coaches that be like, don't use Canva, invest in my $7,000 class. Wait a minute. You don't have $7,000. I don't care if you really have $7,000. You do not have it to put into your branding at the beginning of your business. Go ahead and get that Canva out and make sure your product development is where you invest in, because it doesn't matter if it looks pretty. If the product doesn't work, you're not going to make your money back.
Yes, I really appreciate you sharing that story with us. So last week you went viral, though you go viral a lot, girl.
I do.
Last week you went viral on LinkedIn. I saw your post on LinkedIn all over the place, where you were talking about how you received multiple rejections from distributors, which really led you to create, fund, and launch your own distribution company for braiding hair. Which is yet another thing we got to add to your list of many accomplishments and achievements. So we're at a tech conference. So talk to us a little bit about how are you leveraging technology to innovate your supply chain and also just like that full customer experience at Laid?
All right, so just for those who don't know, I have a product line called Laid Hair Care that's on shelves in Walmart and CVS. Separately, I have an entire franchise that I own. I'm the first person to ever bring a beauty supply store franchise and partner with Walmart. So within the next 10 years, I'll have 100 store locations in partnership with Walmart. It has literally never been done before, where I'm putting braiding hair, wigs, weaves, press-ons, the lip gloss that we love, the gold earrings, color contacts, the belly button rings, all the little urban stuff that we love, and people have been sleeping on. If Walmart is picking us up, come on, girl, we got something in the industry. Well, when I decided to do that, I made a lot of people upset. And by a lot of people, they're people I don't care about, because they don't look like me, they don't support me, they don't support my causes, so I really don't care. And so they own the distribution companies that stock your beauty supply stores. They literally rejected me. They literally was like, I'm not selling to you, I'm not selling to you, I'm not selling to you, yada, yada, yada. I hit up one of the Palestinian-owned beauty supply stores in my area, and I'm like, yo, how did you get them to sell to you? He looked at me straight in my face, and this is somebody that I'm cool with. He said, Kayla, they're never going to sell to you because you're black. So just go ahead and start buying the stuff through me so that I have them funneling it. I said, that's a good backup plan, but why would I go through another third party when I have already lived in China? I have already lived in Korea. I already am connected in ways that these people don't even understand. So I said, you know what? Skipping middleman, skipping the fees, skipping all of that. I'm going to hit up the plug. Like, what? What is wrong with these people? Like, we're in a generation where everybody is a phone call, text message, or WhatsApp away. Like, why would I be dealing with people I don't have to deal with? So I'm hitting up my connects on WhatsApp, and I'm like, yo, what do y'all have? They send me their catalog of everything that they have because they're the manufacturers. And if you know anything about China, the whole copyright situation, that's not a concept. Right. Like, they don't care. They will duplicate your product. So I found all the manufacturers that make all the products for all the distributors that were telling me no, and I just bought it direct from the manufacturer. And so now I'm actually duping their products. So I'm about to take the Expression brand and the Sensational brand and put it as Express Yourself. Sensational with Kayla. I'm not doing too much. I'm just gonna add my logo on top of it because these people were playing in my face, so I have to play harder. And so, like, you just get to a point where you just get tired of them. Like, you realize that these rules only apply to keep people down.
Amen.
Like respectability politics, doing stuff in order, where has that gotten us? To 2.4%? I'm not listening. I don't care. They can sue me. I don't care. They're not going to win. Like, it doesn't matter. Because then we have to go into the federal laws that talk about how they're building a monopoly and then how they're discriminating and keeping us out of the industry. And they don't want those conversations, nor do they want me to start talking about how they've been laundering money for years. So
The tea is so hot.
No,
I didn't even
and
know
the thing
that it
is,
was like
Them people,
beauty, hair, supply, tea. That's crazy.
no, because think about it. Them people not paying taxes on that money. They are not. That's why when you get into an industry, you really start seeing how when we're taught how to do stuff, that is not how the game is being played. These people are playing dirty. Okay, let me give y'all some real tea about how you know who's paying their taxes and they're not. Y'all know when y'all go into a beauty supply store and they got the little clicking register, like they clicking, where is that being documented? Where? Why are we hating on each other when we're talking about each other using Cash App as a source? At least that's being tracked. I'm not hating on any business owner who uses Cash App as a means of collecting money. It's not going to be me. Whether you Stripe, Clover, and you're paying those 2.3% fees, listen, them other people are not doing it. They are claiming this as cash transactions. There is no record. They are reporting $30,000 in sales every year. In the beauty supply store? What beauty supply store you know only makes $30,000 a year? How much you spend on your hair, your weave, your wigs in a beauty supply store? Right. They lying. Right. That's why I gotta laugh harder. If they want to play, I can play too.
Okay, we playing chestnut checkers.
Always. That's why they mad. That's why they keep rejecting me. And every time they find a new way to reject me, I find a way to laugh harder. It's a different world. That's why I'm telling us, like, it's not even about competition. I'm building 100 beauty supply stores in partnership with Walmart. There are 8,000 Walmarts. Y'all can have the other 7,900. I don't care. I don't want them. Put a black woman in every single Walmart. Yes. We need to own the beauty supply store industry. Yes. I will help you. I tell people next year, after these get built out, I will give you the plan. Because you know what they do? They give each other the game. Then they don't charge each other the way we charge each other. So you know how, like, when you buy from somebody, this industry is so funny, because they'll be like, Kayla, we require payment up front. They will front their friend's product. Most of those beauty supply stores are fronted. Then they'll say, you have 120 days to pay us back. But I got 30 days and y'all want to give me a $5,000 line of credit if I can possibly perhaps get in? Y'all gotta play them games with somebody broker. You can't play with me. Don't play with me.
Period. Well, I also want to congratulate you on the opening of the first Lady Beauty Bar,
We outside.
which just opened up in partnership with Walmart in Huntsville.
Yep.
I love that. Congratulations. Thank you. Yes, let's give a big clap for that.
I appreciate that.
Now, I feel like technology is not always something that we as black women think is part of our hair care experience,
and it is,
right?
And it is.
So talk to us about, like, how is your company using technology and social psychology to enhance that customer in-person experience?
I think that we have been conditioned to think of technology as in terms of the computer and in terms of phones and in terms of coding. Culturally, that is not how we do business. We do business just like this. Hey, girl, where'd you get that pantsuit from? Where'd you get it from? Where'd you get that from? Oh, who did your hair? Right. Our conversations, we are an oration type of generation. We are an oration community. That is technology in itself. The power of collective storytelling, the power of collective just agreement. Keep going viral on LinkedIn. I don't think you guys understand the difference between going viral on TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn. TikTok, you can kind of finesse to go viral. Instagram, you can buy views and likes. I am going viral on LinkedIn, and I'm going viral because of the support of my community. With 600,000 impressions, I'm literally getting more views on my LinkedIn content than Essence is. And that's because collectively, my sisters are cheering me on. And so we have to understand the power of using our voice as technology too. We are the most powerful collective. We are an animated community. We are an entertaining community. You take out black people from Twitter, from Instagram, from Vine, from Snapchat, what is left?
Right. Yes.
We are the culture.
Yes.
I remember I was at Forbes Under 30 when Forbes Black started. So before Forbes Black was even a thing, I was in that first class. I was like 21 years old when we literally were on the ground with Forbes that year. Kendrick Lamar got on stage in front of like 30 black people. The room was everybody else. And he said, "We are the culture. Y'all don't move without us." We got to remember that. Collectively, this world does not move without us. Why do you think that these billion-dollar companies keep trying to put us as the face of their businesses? They don't want to pay for it, but they're using us. It's not because black people are more consumers than anyone else. It's because products are marketed towards us more than they are towards anyone else. Because they know the way that when we get something in our hands, we're going to share that. Yeah. So now we need to share the people who support us and always keep them in the best light, regardless.
Okay, I just love how dynamic you are.
Man,
like, I'm getting chills up here with you.
Listen,
What are some of the things that you feel like sets you apart? I mean, we know you scrappy, and we know that you ain't gonna take no for an answer.
Not even a little bit.
But what are some of the other things that you feel sets you apart as a leader in this highly competitive space? And what would you offer to other aspiring entrepreneurs that are sitting in the audience?
So I'm real honest. I tell everyone I'm still in the car that I bought myself when I was in college. At 21, I bought myself a 2017 Kia Forte LX. That was my baby. I still drive my car. I have no reason to upgrade my car or my lifestyle, because what does a Birkin do for the community? What does a Gucci bag do for the community? It does not do anything for us. I'm not gonna perform. I'm not going to buy a $100,000 car to get on Instagram for 10,000 likes for strangers. That does not move us forward. Instead, I'm gonna take my money and keep it in the bank and then open a distribution company for braiding hair to offer wholesale prices to my sisters.
Yes.
And when we support people who have no issue with not flexing, this outfit is from Express, and I have worn it 3 times. I didn't even buy nothing new to wear here today. My shoes, these are the shoes I wear to work. My bag is a Kate Spade bag that I've had from college. Things don't matter. What is your legacy? What are we really investing in? Now that I can afford it, I'm like, man, I can't afford it, because if I buy it, I can't pour it back into the community that I want to move forward. It's our season, and we have to stop glamorizing nonsense on social media. I'm looking at these people, and mind you, I'm in retail, right? So we all get the sales. Every last one of us in retail can see each other's sales. If your product is scanning in Walmart, Target, Walgreens, CVS, Dollar Store, I have the data to prove it. And I see people in this industry living a lie. We don't even collectively make up $20 million in sales in a $6.6 billion industry. Why are we on Instagram flexing houses that are leased and cars that we don't own?
She calling them out. Ooh.
To motivate you to do what? To do the same thing? That's not what it's about. When I think about generational wealth and legacy, I think about being in those conversations that shift us all forward collectively. It's getting rid of just that desire to have and changing it to a desire to own and to invest. I'm 28 years old and I'm a venture capitalist. I could not be a venture capitalist if I was spending my money on nonsense. I could not invest the same way. I could not create Laid Beauty Bar in partnership with Walmart. I spent $100,000 on my build out. Okay, $100,000. Just because I said, nah, my community deserves better. We need a beauty supply store experience. I'm giving you Sephora at a gas station price because I just want to let black women know that it's possible. I'm not cutting corners. And I think that's what sets me apart. I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna be real and I'm gonna tell you, girl, it's been hard, it's been a struggle, but you too can do this. You gotta shift them buying habits though.
I love that. I would love to hear from the audience. Does anyone have any questions for Kaylah?
I wonder if you have any advice for how Black-owned beauty brands can differentiate themselves and really speak to their value proposition in such a saturated space, especially when they're up against other Black-owned businesses. How can...
Oh, wait, pause. I'm actually gonna stop you right there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna answer part of your question. Black-owned companies are not competing against Black-owned companies. Not in this space. We're a collective. So it's me, Kaleidoscope. It's only like 6 of us. It's me, Judy with Kaleidoscope, Talia with Talia Wajid, Pardon My Fro, Can V, no, she's on show. Curl Mix. There's somebody else I'm thinking about. Hold on.
You be calling out everybody else. So.
No. There's Talia, there's me, there's Judy, there's Kaleidoscope, there's The Do, and Camille Rose. I don't think I'm missing anybody else who owns their company.
Do you consider...
Who would you say in mass retail? Who? She might be in like Sephora. I don't think she's specialty. I'm just talking about like just Walmart and maybe Target. She might be Black-owned. I haven't met her yet.
That is a Black-owned brand.
Okay, so she's a Black-owned brand. So we still haven't hit 10 people.
But would you consider, I'm curious if you consider, like when even celebrities come out with brands, so Beyonce's brand, would you consider that Black-owned? Alicia Keys, Tracee Ellis Ross, right? I think of all of these brands and I think about the saturation in this space. And again, I hear you on maybe saturation is subjective, but I'm curious if you're passionate about that, how do you differentiate your business from someone else's business so that we can all grow as a community in the industry?
I think I gotta go back to what I was saying before. So as a collective, we only have 2.4% of the industry. So the way to make it in this industry isn't to compete against us. It's to just stop buying from them. Like it's not really a situation of choosing Talia, Beyonce, or Kaylah. It's literally just not choosing anybody else. So in retail, the most important thing is your sell-through. So certain people have certain milestones of how many products per week that they need to sell. Let's just not make them sell it. That's it. Because once they're not selling, that opens up their shelf space for another company. So instead of saying, oh, I want to be in the black hair care aisle, let's just stop supporting the people who are already in the aisle and make them lose their space and let the space open up for us. And so I guess in reference to like Tracee and even Taraji and Beyonce and their companies, I think that they're not really somebody I would consider myself competing against. And I just don't consider myself competing against them because a lot of them are incubator brands. Beyonce's not an incubator brand, but a couple other people that you've mentioned are incubator brands, which basically means that another company is using their face to market the product and they don't actually own it. And so we just have to be more intentional about understanding who we're buying from and just making decisions to not buy. So I'm not saying make a decision between me and anybody that looks like me on the aisle. Grab us both. Just don't grab them. That's it. That's all you have to do is don't grab them, and that space opens up for the next person.
I wanted to ask, what is the name of your new franchise, and when can we start buying in?
Sure. So Laid Beauty Bar is already open in Huntsville, Alabama. We have 2 locations already under construction in 2 different cities. Our franchise applications open next year, and that's just so that I can be honest about your projections, just based on what our actual sales are, and then we can let you know like what your ROI will actually be. But next year, I'm like, guys, let's go, because they're gonna catch up if we slow down. So we just gotta hit hit the ground running.
That's a huge milestone. Congratulations. I'm
Thank
excited
you.
for us to be able to support you. My last question is around gatekeeping. It sounds like you've been experiencing that. I think in every industry, they're going to do everything in their power to stop us from being successful. So what are some of your top pieces of advice for dealing with gatekeeping and not letting gatekeeping discourage you from your journey?
I think that I love us, right? So when we learn something, we like to make Instagrams, TikToks, and Lord, and become coaches. Okay? Do you guys see anybody else doing that? Who else is giving away their tea? They secret. Them other people are watching everything that we do. Collectively, we need to just agree that we are not trying to go viral off of somebody else's experience. And we're saying these are secrets that we're holding within our own community. Because that's what they're doing. That's how they got ahead. The Koreans basically got the US to say, hey, they basically created laws so that you could only import hair from Korea, which basically meant at one time that they only were the people with the language to be able to even understand it, right? So collectively, what are we doing? What laws are we changing? What reparations are we honestly advocating for every single day? And until we each or all collectively decide to get together and to truly make it a movement, and this isn't a movement where we're criticizing how people are doing things, right? We don't need any more think pieces on each other. It doesn't matter how you feel about Shaun King or Tamika Mallory. I don't care. The world doesn't need any more of us to criticize each other. We just need to get together and choose, everybody pick a lane and say, this is how I'm championing this cause to either with my family or my community, and we're not criticizing the way anyone else is doing it because somebody is gonna move the needle forward and we don't know what that looks like. I hope I answered all three.
Hi.
Hey girl. Sure.
So what is the opportunity to be able to partnership with you?
With me,
Yes.
I tell people I'm not for everybody. Listen, I need some more maturity before I offer mentorship to anybody because I lead my team, right? I have a team of 60 people that I lead every day, and these are 60 people that know me in and out. Somebody on the outside coming in, I should not be their first job. I know, like But when I get to a point that where I'm like, you know what, this is a system, this is the politically correct way to say this, this is me not speaking from the, so I went viral years ago for a poster that I made that I was like, angry black women make history. It ended up in the New York Times, okay? I am too angry right now about this industry for me to keep somebody else that's too young to be optimistic, okay? I need to grow as a person and a leader before I take on anybody's child. And so, you know, maybe in about 10 years, when I'm good and retired and calmed down, you know, I could pour. But right now, I gotta know myself enough to know that this is not the healthiest first job experience. It's not. Mm-mm.
So I know we're at time. So Kaylah, tell us where we can find you
Sure.
and Laid Hair Care.
Sure. So you can find me on Instagram at Kaylah Joseph. You can find me on Instagram at Laid Hair Care or Laid Beauty Bar. I just made a TikTok and I don't use it because I'm already too old for TikTok. Like I can't figure it out. But it's Kaylah Joseph as well and Laid Hair Care. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I think that that's more so my crowd. Just because LinkedIn allows me to get differing perspectives that are educated. And sometimes on other social platforms, I just find myself getting so annoyed. Like, girl, that is not even how that works. Especially with the, I make $30,000 a day. Oh, Lord, Jesus. Yeah, I can't ingest that every day. But LinkedIn, where people are honest, is where I live, is where I thrive, is a perfect place to connect with me at.
I love that. Thank you so much, Kaylah. This
Thanks.
has been Cinneah, El-Amin of Finance. Thanks, everybody, for joining.
Yeah.
And we will have our next session.
All right, guys, thanks for having me.
Can we get a quick selfie, girl?
Sure.